Yeah.
I'm good.
You don't look like you're too cold today. It's just icy and warm, right?
Yeah, I actually had to take some layers off because I was sweating. It's really warm today.
Yeah, you're not all bundled up like the Michelin woman.
No.
Do you know what that is? I keep having I make these references to things, and then I think, okay, she's less than 30, so you can't trust her because you that are less than 30 can't trust anybody over 30. There's an older reference for you,
right.
too.
I do know the Michelin Man.
There you go. I just kind of made it more gender specific for you. I'm that kind of guy. Not really.
Yeah.
But well, good. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you did this week.
Okay, yeah. Well, last week we had like a little solo session, and I actually thought it went really well because I started Augie out in the round corral just to get him like listening and paying attention, and he was very responsive. I asked him to stop, and he would stop immediately, which is something I had trouble with a couple days prior to that. And I actually got him to follow me a couple times, like first try. Didn't even have to like,
oh, good,
struggle with him. So yeah, last Thursday went pretty well. I did work with him on Monday, and that was a whole dumpster fire because I picked a really bad time of day, and it was windy, and the littles were going crazy. I tried to keep it simple and just have him stop in one spot when I asked him to. And yeah, we spent like an hour and a half just working on that. So yeah, we've had our ups and downs.
Well, it sounds to me like, yeah, sometimes there's been days, and especially depending on where you're at in the training on the horse, their receptiveness to what you want to do, or your need to absolutely be able to control things, is a lot of times dependent on weather like that. And of course we get the wind over here. And so I like to be able to not have a spot where, weather is going to be a factor that I can't control. So yeah, just exactly like you did, instead of really getting into a lot of new things, you can work them in something that they really should know how to do or should respond to you, and then really drive that home. So that was a very good use of your time and the right thing to do overall. So that's you should be commended for that. That's good thinking. And I don't know, I assume that was probably intuitive after he didn't want to do what he wanted to do. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's they are like we are. Some days we have good days and everything seems to go right, and other days we want to be left alone, and we'll fight anything that comes close to us, right? So
right.
They have to overcome that. They gotta be listening to us because we're the ones that are supposedly in charge. So were you able to work him in the panniers like we're going to do today? Just the one day?
Yeah, I worked him in the panniers last week and last Tuesday, just kind of going over the same stuff as usual. Augie's, last time he was getting a little bossy, trying to get ahead of Lonza, and Lonza was just like she did not want to exercise that day. So, yeah, it's had its ups and downs, just like with the round corral.
So you had the opposite problem with both horses. He wanted to go forward and she didn't want to move.
Yeah, she wanted to take her nap,
Oh yeah. Well, guess what? Naps are for later.
Right.
All right. Well, let's do a little bit of foreshadowing. And you know what? This is that time of year when we can't always use the tools that we maybe necessarily have at our disposal if we need them. In other words, that round corral is slick. It's icy. There's other parts of I can see right in front of his face. There looks like a spot out in the arena that's been melted down a little bit. That looks like it's got some ice on it. So Not being able to use those is fine, and not using them is the right decision. You don't want to cause a problem. So you work around those things. It's that time of year when you do is what you can, but you don't always get to do what you want to get thoroughly done. So not a problem there.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to do for maybe next time, it looks like you've got those panniers stuck plumb full, which is perfect. We want to kind of get him used to things that flop around him. And so I don't know what you've got there, something very small that we can put in the front of his pannier, like a stick, a heavy, like a 1x1, and have like a flag on the end of it, a very large, maybe a couple feet by a couple feet, tacked to it, and then stick it straight up and down in the front of that pannier on both sides. So he's got a couple of flags that he's packing around. And we'll start out just like it is right now, full, and those will stay in there pretty well generally. And if they fall to the side and they're out away from him a little bit, so be it. That's okay. We need him to be used to some of the ability to not spook at big floppy things around him. So if you can do that next time, have it ready and put one on each side of him, and then we'll just start out walking him by hand. You'll just lead him around, and then if everything goes well, and Lonza can tolerate that as well, and she should. I trained her to be able to flop a slicker or a tarp or whatever around on her while you're riding, and I mean flog her with it, and was no issue. But I don't know the last time that was done for her or to her, so we may have to do that a little bit as well, just so we don't cause a wreck and cause her to blow up, him to blow up, but we'll ease into it slow. So let's anticipate doing that next time. Have those ready. We'll start out like we're going to do today and move around a little bit, and then we'll stop. Make sure that, and that may be some homework for you to do this week, is make sure that she will tolerate that as well. And then we can really get towards the end of this packing. There's not a lot more we can do the way we are, except to have him go through some things and bang on those panniers and have them stay in place. And I don't like to do that with these because you can damage these pretty easily. I'd rather do that with like a solid metal box, like a Army medical boxes work perfectly. I learned that. That's one of the things I learned from Smoke Elsery, that old outfitter that's in your area. And I actually think Suzanne went to a class of his, or maybe a couple of times. So he's a wealth of knowledge, been doing it for decades. And, give me that idea about these medical boxes. And I train with them a lot on these horses. And you can beat them up, bang them up, and not tear up a lot of equipment doing it. So these panniers are they're expensive. They're, several $100, probably on the outside. Yeah. But you don't want to, use them for training where they can get tore up. That's the thing about training animals like this, is you can tear equipment up. It gets used hard sometimes, and even when you don't want it to, but the possibility is there. So is that possible? You can maybe have her ready, flopping things, and then have him ready as well this week. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it too much. It's about her, because at some point you're going to be getting on her to do this. I don't want to overlook her need to be kind of refreshed on that, but have him so that he doesn't have to have it done to him. We can do that for the first time next week.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll try it out with Lonza alone, and then maybe next week we'll do it with Augie.
Yeah.
The little flags.
Yep, build those flags up so they stick up above the pannier, a couple feet, about like where a rider's head would be, if they can be that high, and make them a couple foot by a couple of foot, and just staple it, tack it on, tie it on, whichever way you can do it, so it'll stay screwed on there with another piece of wood as a backer. If you have any questions, you can always get a hold of me. I can kind of let you know how I've done things like that in the past, where it's not just going to fall apart as you're using it. All right. Well, he came to you, worked in the round corral, was kind of a little bit his normal self at times. She just stretched.
I don't know what she was doing. She's like trying to lay down.
Huh. She might be that time of day where she's like, yeah, I just want to kind of relax and stretch.
Yeah.
How warm is it right now?
I haven't checked. I would guess somewhere around like 40 degrees, maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's a little warmer than it looks. So you're just getting some melt on the top of everything then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She's got something in her mouth. Not sure what. Looks like something hanging down.
Oh, well, she's got her bridle on right now. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it looked like there's a string or something hanging right down. I couldn't tell. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and just start out, and we'll move him around. I don't anticipate this is going to be a lengthy one. We may not get to 3 o'clock with this, and that's okay if we don't. We just want to make sure he's good and abbreviate this a little bit if it's really slick underneath, and it's going to get slicker as we go.
Okay. Do you want me to walk him around by hand first, or
I don't think so.
Lonza?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get on him and go. I think we've proven that he's going to be okay, and she's okay with him. Now it's just a matter of having those panniers kind of bang into the back of her and you as he goes along with her.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, you gotta wake up, Lonza. There are a couple obstacles in the arena if we want to try those out sometime.
Yes. I didn't see it. Okay, I saw the camera move up. Yeah, that's very good. We like that. Because that is the only thing we've really got left to do is, bang into the side of him on stuff, and then any obstacles that go over or around. That's fantastic. And you can actually have him, instead of just going strictly over the tarp, have him go over and through the tires as well.
Okay.
And he might try to avoid him, which is fine. In this instance, it's all right to avoid him because we're teaching him to walk around stuff anyhow.
Cool. And all right, let's go get Ozzy. Yeah, be nice. So, back.
Don't make him get behind you. There you go. Good. Oh, look at him. Stepped out around that gate post. That's good. Okay, probably the easiest thing you can do and the most effective thing you can do right now is when he steps up like that, is when you say that, give him that verbal cue that you're doing, and then with the running end of your rope that's through your hand, just reach up there and tap it on his nose. Just reach over, just flop it on his nose. It doesn't have to, it doesn't have to hurt him at all. It's just a kind of a barrier to stop. Oh, there we go. Good. A little avoidance is fine. And he's avoiding her all the way on the other side of that horse. So pulling back over onto your left side. There you go. Very good. Yeah, the other part of that is the discipline to keep him on the side that you are leading him by. You're predominantly left-handed?
Yeah.
Yep. So have him move on that side. I mean, there are a couple of things that we can accommodate lefties for. That's one of them. Usually scissors aren't very well done, and moving a steering wheel on the other side of the car in this kind of business is what we normally do. You have to adapt. We can let you have your way with this. Good. Better. So when you give him that verbal cue, that and then touch him on the nose, that's going to be much more effective later when you say he's going to know that, I better stop or I'm going to get that rope on my nose.
Right.
Give him that verbal cue and then immediately follow up with that, or almost at the same time. That's better. Now he's starting to rate that a little bit nicer. Okay, see how he tries to move to the other side of your horse? There he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we may have a little bit of a challenge here for him to cross over onto that tarp, which is fine. And he's done this before. He knows what it is. And he's been a creep about it nearly every time. There we go. Just go slow. Slow. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and go around your cavalettis and then stop at the end of your cavalettis. So what we're going to need to do is just shorten up your lead on him, because what he just did is he got successful by avoiding the whole thing, so we can't let him do that. He's definitely going to try that again. So we just want to go slow when you go over that first time. Take a step and then stop, step and stop. Just exactly, you would do the same thing if you're crossing water with a horse the first time that they're not accustomed to it and leading them.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and stop. And now go ahead and shorten that lead up and put it on that saddle horn, around it so that you can hold it, and then keep him so his head is between your leg and her tail.
Okay.
And then just take a step and stop. One step and stop. When he relaxes, then come forward. Otherwise, because he's going to try to avoid you here. There you go. Better. He's moving right with her. There. He's going to stop on you. So, step. There you go. He's hugging her. There you go. Come forward. That's all right. Go ahead and take a left turn. There you go. Go out that side of it, just so you make him go across and stop. Stop. The same thing. And don't worry about that. Don't worry about that tarp. He'll come with it. We just need to let him stop. And if he has to, if you get right there now, go ahead and let him have a lot of lead so he can smell it. He's wanting to put his head down to smell it. Let him do that. Well, just take the time to do it. He's kind of got balked up a little bit. There we go. Get a smell. Maybe let him do it again if he wants to. We'll just give him a minute. He's licking. I can chewing. I can tell from here. Because this is exactly what would happen on a trail. Water or a culvert or, there we go. Good. Very good. Logs, they'll start jumping stuff instead of sensibly going through it. And that's where wrecks can start. They get hurt. People can get hurt. You can break equipment. Mm-hmm. All right. So he's starting to just relax. He's content to stand. So there you go. Pull your slack up. And then just take a step forward. There you go. And stop. There we go. Just enough to give him some tension on that lead. There you go. And then he'll come forward. There you go. Do it again. And then we don't want him to leap over it. We just want him to step on it and come over. So half a step. Her near side hind leg is stretched out. So let it come forward. There you go. And stop. Good. Very good. Yeah. Praise him.
Good job.
Very good. You got that paniard is up. See how he's anxious, wanting to just roll around forward and just come forward no matter what, and off to her side. That's normal. It's just him and anxiety or a little bit of fear there. Okay, so go ahead and just walk away, straight away like you are, and see if he'll follow and step on that tarp without avoiding around the tires. Same way, nice and easy. Good. Now come forward. Set it up so he can't avoid it. So go ahead and take a right turn. Make him come with you. There you go.
Boy, there you go.
That's better.
Good job. Yay, good boy.
Good. Very good. Better. Okay, go ahead and stop and get your pannier down. It looks like you're picking it up. That'll cause that other to fall down. And it's okay. Sometimes you can get that done from your horse.
Come here.
There you go. Yeah, you've been teaching him to stay back so much that he understands that when he doesn't need to. Are you pretty well balanced on your weight on either side?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the same stuff on each side.
The same weight?
Yeah.
Okay. Because guess how many pounds difference it can take to throw off your entire pack?
Guess how many?
Yeah.
I don't know, like 5-10 pounds.
1 pound can do it.
Oh.
So they need to be balanced, but then you can, if one is like 5 pounds more, which is a lot, you can adjust your packs so that they'll ride a little bit differently, but they'll still be balanced and equal on the horse's back. And that's just a skill you gotta play with. Well, yeah, a pound difference it can be a ton of weight difference and make that saddle list from one side to the other. The larger it is, the more it sticks out. If it weighs less, but it sticks out further, it acts like it's heavier. So bulk outweighs weight is the same.
All right.
And he did that when he jumped over, and I think he probably hit her in the hind end. Or maybe your leg, I don't recall which. Now, you doing all of that right there and him standing is good practice, Nicole. There's nothing wrong with that. That is some stuff it happens, it's necessary, and you may need to adjust the pack. And a lot of times you can't do it from your horse. It has to be, you got to get down and readjust. But
yeah,
it's good discipline, just exactly like you did it. So that's not all lost in what else we're trying to do. That just goes along with it. So good. All right. So let's see if he'll follow her again now. He's going really good from south to north. Well, actually, I guess that's not good. He's going from east to west.
Back. Back. There you go.
Better. Good job.
Back. Back.
Just go ahead and keep walking. Slow it down, but see if he'll follow you. Yep, you're doing good. Doing good. Very good. Keep going.
Good boy. Good job.
Good. That's better. So go ahead and go the other direction.
Back.
Good. And these turns are important because, yeah, he can shortcut you there, but he needs to monitor the rate of speed. Very good. I like the way he's looking.
Good boy. Good job.
Good. Very good. Good. I like that he's staying back. You're making him go back. I can see you flipping that rope occasionally. That looks good. Now when you come through to this next time, go out a little bit and make a really sharp turn and come right back across it again. And then go around, make a 90-degree turn and go across at the opposite, from the opposite corner, making basically going north and south and then turn and go east and west, or west, east, it doesn't matter to me. Better. Much better.
Boy.
Now, there you go. Immediately turn and go right back over it. There we go. Yes. Keep him slowed down beside you. Very good.
Good
All
boy.
right. So let's go ahead and see how he went on the other side of the tire. Let's have him try to follow this very same route as you.
Okay.
See if he'll follow right the same footsteps that she takes.
Boy.
Good. And go on the other side so that you're coming in from the other angle, 90 degrees to where you traveled. There you go. Right between those tires. Okay. Yeah, see, he's still trying to avoid. So turn right back around and come right through that side that you tried. There you go. Little too much lead there, so you have to adjust that up. Yeah, it's all right.
Over it, lady. Good.
That's better. That's better. Yeah, and there's not much incentive for him to not cut the corner because there's no tree or anything there. They have to go around. Right. So it's kind of tough for you. You do the best you can. You have to maybe lengthen out your turn a little bit or delay your turn, but just do the best you can there. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'll take that. He stepped over, but at least he was trying to come with her. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good. So can you walk a little bit faster over that and just go right across it without hesitation? We'll increase the stakes here a little bit.
Maybe.
That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. So go ahead and go your east to west. It's a little bit wider that way. Very good.
Good boy.
And then let's just speed it up a little bit going over that, if your footing is okay. Now just be careful because she could pick that up with her feet, and or he could, and start dragging that tarp with you. So be prepared for that to possibly happen, and then maybe spook a little bit.
Okay.
always expect the worst and prepare for it. Oh, that's better.
Good boy.
Now go the other direction. I like how he's stopping like that. That's very good. He's waiting for you to go around him. That's perfect. Good.
Good boy.
That's good, Nicole. Good job. Much better. Yeah, it's just you had to turn a little bit sooner, so it wasn't like he was trying to avoid it. He was just trying to, make a little bit more efficient move, which is fine. Again, he's got little to no incentive to not try to cheat a little bit, and it's not because he's trying to avoid it. He's just, it's easier to walk this way. Okay. Can you switch hands now? Put him on your offside?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that a couple of times. And I know it's awkward for you, but necessary. Because we do want him to move on this other side as well. And that's most of the time where they'll be at, because most of us in the population are right-handed.
Oh, so most people have their horse on this side?
Yep. A lot of times that's where, because they're holding their, well, and for a couple of reasons. When you get on and off, you're not having to step across that rope.
Right.
And offside. And right-handedness, they're reining with their left and learning how to hold that. If you're going to rope something, you've got your hands in the reins on your left hand if you're right-handed, and then you're handling your rope with your right hand. Because I don't think I could swing a rope with my left hand and hit the ground. It's so uncoordinated. There we go. Much, much better. Okay. So he's just like the same old thing there, not trying to get on the other side of her. And that's what we're looking for, is that he's going to stay on the side that you put him. Good. Very good.
Good boy.
Good.
Good boy.
All right. I don't think we're going to get much of a change there. He's looking good. So take a left turn and see if he tries to go on her near side, or your left side. See if he tries to go there on a tight turn and stay there. No? Very good. We like that. Okay. Since we're getting that down, let's go ahead and start speeding up across that tarp a little bit. Go to a fast walk, really good fast walk, and then maybe trot over the top of it for an intermediate gait. Rarely would you run with a pack horse. There's only a couple of reasons why you would. I hope you wouldn't have to, but a little bit speedier, going into a trot is fine. Good. Very good. Good correction. Yeah, he just thinks he kind of needs to drive this thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Good job. Keep that up. Just keep going. Good. He kind of slowed down on you, and he crossed it more of a fast walk. But see if you can get him to trot. And that's okay. Just start down there. You go straight at it, and just have him come with you at a trot. See how he does. Lonzo's doing great. Better. Much better. Very good. Very good. Now go to the opposite side, that 90 degrees, and see if you can extend that where he comes out. Now trying to shortcut, just go almost to the fence as you come off of the tarp so that he follows you off of that. And do it at a little higher speed. Yep, not going to be a problem. Good, very good. I don't think he even slowed down on you much, did he?
No, not so much.
Good. And he's staying on your offside. I like that. Just there, he's trying to turn on a little bit on the inside, but he's staying behind her, so that's good. He's just kind of lining out a little bit more. So we'll do this. Go ahead and speed over the top of that so you can get a trot through there. Step on it. That's okay. So yeah, let's go and do a trot through there, and then we're gonna see if his skill level does better. By after this one, if he does well on it and trots across that, has no issue with trying to avoid it, then we'll lengthen that lead out a little bit. Well, kind of slowed down on me a little.
Yeah. Come on, Lonzo. Lonzo says she's done.
Yeah.
Come on, lady.
Lonzo's wrong. There we go. Now come across that. Keep that speed up. There we go. Yeah. Good. Very good. Okay, now go ahead and give out a little bit more lead, kind of like you had at the very beginning, that very first try you went across that. We're going to let him see if he'll try to avoid it now. My guess is he's not going to, because we've got this kind of ingrained in him enough that he knows what to expect and what he should be doing.
Other side, buddy.
There you go. Good. Correct him. Very good. And I'll let a pack horse follow me right behind once I'm lined out and everything's going up the trail. That's not a problem. You got that just about right. Very good. Very good. Go ahead and turn around and go right back across that. And then the next time, let's trot across it. Very good. You short-turned him and he's staying on her offside. Very good. Like that.
Good boy.
Oh, look at that. He even slowed down so that he could get behind her. Very good. Very good. I like it how he learns these lessons and then 20 minutes later he's like he's never done it before. Little puss head. There we go. Good. Yep. Good job. Keep going. Keep going. Hold him in place. Don't let him get ahead of you. Good job. Keep her moving. Good. Better. Keep coming right on around now. Just go. Keep her moving. Nice, good trot. Extended trot. Make him trot. Very good. Keep going.
Good job.
Good job. Very good. Liking that. All right. Now, I hate to belabor this too much, but when you look back at him, which pack sticks out further from his body?
Which pack you said?
Yeah, which one sticks out further from his body? The one on the left, or his right?
I think it's the one on his, what is this, right?
No, that's left.
Or is it the left? Yeah? Okay.
So, and you'll notice it sticks out further and it hangs down lower. So there's part of that bulk outweighs weight. So it making it feel or look like that pack is heavier, and it feels heavier on that side to him.
Gotcha.
All right. You know, I think you've accomplished just about everything we want to accomplish. The only thing we probably could do is let's do a couple of passes from in the middle of the arena towards the barn, that through there on that long way. It's a little bit narrower and across that tarp, and see if we can get him to just follow through there at a little higher speed, okay?
Okay. Not 100% sure which direction you meant.
Well,
you said going towards the barn?
Go towards the barn, yeah, because you can get some speed up going that way.
Okay.
And then, you know, they're going to turn. They're not going to hit that fence. Okay, he just tried to avoid you. Oh, he successfully avoided everything. So there we go. That he gets it, and then all of a sudden decides not to. So let's go ahead and go through there. Leave your lead a little bit long. Let's give him a good chance to follow you.
Okay.
And we'll speed it up just a little tiny bit. A little fast walk. There we go. That's better. That's better. Now just speed it up around next time you come through.
Other side.
Okay, good. Now let's trot through there. Let's trot through there about 3 times in a row. Just make a nice circle like you're doing, only trotting the whole time. And if he does that successfully, then we'll call him cured for the moment.
All right, let's go. Oh, easy.
Very good. Very good. Better.
Let's go.
There's once. Good. There's twice. He's got plenty of lead, and he's following where he should. He's not trying to get around her on the other side. That's good. But he is following her. All right. And there's thrice. That looks really good. Nicole, I think you've done a really good job with him today. You've given him, you know, a chance to not do what he's supposed to do. And he took that chance to begin with. He tried to avoid. So he shortened up that line and got his lead to where he had to go with you. And then he got better and better at it, increased speed, and then give him that lead back. And he did everything we wanted him to do. After that initial time, he only really tried to cross that tarp, by my count, twice by really avoiding it or you know, trying to just get through it without doing the old trail right behind her. But so that overall is pretty good. How do you feel about balancing packs now?
I think I need to work on it a bit.
I'll tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, his dad was a packer, and my dad actually, when he was about 16, 17 years old, they contracted to gather up a bunch of horses that the Forest Service had turned loose that they'd been using for surveying, and went to go get them that fall. And when he did, they were packing in and they were riding hard. And this guy was an old packer, really knew what he was doing. Well, I knew his son, who was just a little bit younger than my dad. And he told me a story that he couldn't get his packs set. And sometimes you will fight them and fight them and fight them. You'll have either they'll be just not quite balanced right, or you'll have one sticking out further than the other, and you just can't quite find a balance on them. So he picked up a rock. It was about 4 or 5 pound rock, and then picked it up and then put it up underneath of that tarp that was holding down the diamond hitch or double diamond, and just so it would kind of stay up there. Well, his dad saw that, caught him doing that, and made him take that out, fix that pack, and then when he was all done, he made him pack that rock for the rest of the day. So you can imagine. He said, you think about what that horse has to pack. I mean, it was a lesson, but you know, some of these guys that I grew up around, they were some pretty tough men, and they didn't hesitate to punish you a little bit. So I won't punish you that hard, but yeah, we'll figure out how to do this. And arguably it's not easy to do this when you got stuff that's kind of in the shape you're in. So, yeah, it's funny. It doesn't think that, intuitively something that's a little bit heavier, you would think it would go down further, but it can be lighter and further out and it will act heavier. There's a whole art behind that. And, some days, some of those trips go really well and you never have to adjust. And other days, it seems like at your best effort, you're constantly adjusting those packs. And the more horses you got, the more often you're down and up on those things. So, all right. Well, very good. Yeah, let's just have some flags ready. Your homework for the week is basically get her so she'll tolerate those when you're riding, and even around her, just kind of, move them around, flog her with them like you would sack a colt with her to begin with a tarp, and then with 1 year flags, do the same thing, and even ride around with that flag up around her. And then when we're ready next week, then we'll put them in those panniers, and we'll be off to the races. Only slow, controlled races, nothing. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, good job, and we will see you probably next Thursday.
All right, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.